Good afternoon. Welcome. I am just getting, there we go. There we go. Good afternoon. I hope you are well. I hope you're having a good day, whatever you're doing. And if you're watching it back, thank you so much for joining me at whatever stage you choose to join. So I'm just going to swap my glasses so I can see you. And I'm going to just check my phone, just make sure that I am live. And yeah, I'm live, and so good. I'm still getting used to this platform, to StreamYard, still getting used to it. So yeah, just needed to make sure that I'm live, and I am. So good afternoon, hope you're well. Thank you for joining me. So I'm going to just prep something to eat because I've had a really busy day, and I haven't eaten yet. It's 20 past 2. And this is going to be my first meal of the day. So I'm just going to prep this, and then we'll have a chit chat because I want to talk about something really specific, something that I've been asked this week, and I just thought I'd share it with you, and it might be of interest to you. And it's all about how do we stay positive on the journey, especially if we have a lot of weight to lose. And it's taken a long time. How do we stay motivated? How do we stay positive? So I'm going to share my thoughts on that with you in a moment. But I'm going to prep this. So what this is one of my soups. This is a veg and Stilton soup. So I'm going to get this on the gas to warm through. There we go. And I love these bags. These bags are brilliant. These are the reusable food bags from Amazon. I will drop a link in the description box below. But these are brilliant. And you can just use them, reuse them, wash them out, refill them, pop them back in the freezer. They're brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. So I'm just going to put my gas on. Get this warmed through. What have you had today? What have you had to eat? What sort of things? What have you had today? What have you had to eat? There we go. I was just checking. I was just double checking that I'm live. So yeah, what have you had? What have you had? Have you had your breakfast and your lunch? I can see I've got somebody with me. So good afternoon. Great to have you with me today. So yeah, what have you had? Have you had your breakfast? Have you had your lunch? What did you have? This is my first meal of the day. I know it's really bad. It's 20 past 2 and I haven't eaten yet. So this is my first meal of the day. And it's only because now I'm learning to really listen to my body and to eat when I'm actually hungry, as opposed to eating because, you know, it's breakfast time or it's lunchtime or it's dinner time. I'm way past that now, and I really tune in and listen to my body. And I haven't been hungry at all day. I've been drinking my water. All my water's back down in the kitchen. But I've been drinking my water, staying hydrated. But I'm listening to my body and I'm like, yeah, actually, I feel a little bit hungry. So that's why I just thought I'd put my soup on. It's a veg and Stilton soup, just warming that through. And then I'm going to have some Ryvita, avocado, and some cheese with it. So I'm going to prep that. And whilst I'm prepping that, we can talk. Oh, I also wanted to share a couple of other things with you. So tomorrow I'm going to be cooking these up. So this is some chicken drumsticks that I bought in my Tesco's shopping haul. I tell you, this Tesco's shopping haul is keeping me going. It really is. So I bought these chicken. Hi, Sherry. Hello, my lovely. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much. So I bought these chicken drumsticks in Tesco's in my massive shopping haul. And I was in my freezer today getting out something for my lunch. And I thought to myself, as I was going through all my food that I've prepped, I've only got 2 meals, and which I made last week with you guys, which was the sausage casserole. But I've got loads of soups, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I've got about 10 packs of soups. But then I realised I've got no meals. Just burnt myself. Got no meals. So I thought, right, I'll take these out. This is my chicken drumsticks, and I've just got them in this bowl to defrost. And then tomorrow I'm going to cook them. So if you want to join me tomorrow, you can find out what I'm going to cook with them. I don't even know what I'm going to make with them yet, but I will cook something really, really delicious with my chicken legs. So I'm just leaving them to defrost, and then I'm going to clean them. I do have a video on my channel about how to clean your chicken. So it's an old video. So if you want to check out how I clean my chicken, feel free to check that out. But I will defrost these and clean them, and then tomorrow I'll do a live and we can cook them together. So that's why that's out. I've also taken out some fruit, and this is some raspberries and blueberries. So I've taken these out. I'm going to let them defrost, and I'm going to make a compote with them, just to use them up more than anything else. And then I'm going to use these to put over my my yogurt for a snack. It'll be part of my meal later today. So I'm having that. But I also wanted to show you, I went out and I got these. So yesterday we were talking about juicing, and I'd done a bit of a shop, and I'd showed you that I'd bought like my celery and my beets, my carrots and things like that. And I mentioned that I, needed to get some ginger. So after I took Benji, my cat, to his vet appointment, which I'm pleased to say he was properly examined, and they said he was in good health. On the way back, I stopped off at my local meat shop, my local Asian meat shop, and I picked up this really nice big chunk of ginger. And I was saying yesterday that if you can get ginger from somewhere other than a supermarket, you're going to be so much better off. This is when you get it in the supermarket, and if that's all you can get, then that's fine. Yeah. But if you can get it from like a farmer's market, or like a specialist, like an Asian or Caribbean or African food shop, it's going to be much fresher. And look at this. This is so beautiful and fresh. And you should be able to smell it, and it should smell good. And then when you break it, you see it's all fresh and it's not dried up at all. That's a good piece of ginger, and it smells really, really good. So I managed to pick that up. So I'm going to be doing some juicing as well. So if you want to see what I juice, then great. I picked up this big bunch of garlic, because I always need garlic. And garlic is so good for health. And actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try juicing a couple of cloves of garlic. Not too many, but just a couple, because it's got brilliant health properties. And then I'm just going to stir my soup. So I can hear it bubbling away. I'm just going to turn the gas down as well. There we go. There we go. Let that gently defrost. And then the other thing that I bought was turmeric. And look at that. That is what you call good old proper turmeric. Good afternoon, Esther. Lovely to have you with me, my lovely. So I bought a load turmeric. It's like £6. It's £7 a kilo. Okay. So this came to about just under £3. So I've got loads here. I've got loads of fresh turmeric. And again, when you buy fresh turmeric, it should look healthy. Should look healthy. If it's like looking dried up, it's not good. It's not good. Oh, you've never used fresh before? Yeah, fresh turmeric is fabulous. You're going to get lots of goodness in this. And I just want to show you, when you break it, look at that. Look at that. Look at that great colour in your turmeric. Be careful though, because it stains. It stains. It'll stain your hands, it'll stain your pots, it'll stain your cups. But that is all about the goodness that's in it. It's high in those flavonoids, all of that good stuff. It's really, really high in. It's got a slight earthy smell, but it's brilliant. So you can grate this and put it in your cooking rather than using dried. Or, you know, you get the dried powdered one in the jar, and you could use that. But if you're going to use this, just grate it. Oh my days. But again, it'll turn your grater orange. And that's because of all the flavonoids and all the goodness that's in it. But what I like to do is give it a good wash and put it through the juicer, and it comes out orange. Oh my days. And you drink that stuff. That is what I call life. This is life. And I've got my garlic, also got me fresh ginger as well. So I'm going to be using these tomorrow. In fact, what I'll probably do, because what I like to do when I'm juicing, I like to juice first thing in the morning. So what I'll probably do tomorrow, I will do 2 lives. I'll do a live to show you how I create my natural juices first thing in the morning, because like it's 2:30 now. I don't feel like having a juice, but like top of the morning, definitely. So I will do a live tomorrow doing my juice, and then I will do another live in the afternoon showing you how I'm going to cook all of this chicken, these chicken legs. So I'll do that tomorrow. I'm just going to rinse my hands. So what I'm doing now, guys, we're going to talk about positivity and staying positive. I can see I've got a couple of people with me, so good afternoon. Great to have you with me. We're going to talk about being positive on the journey whilst I'm just prepping. Don't shout at me. But my first meal of the day, it's 2:30 and I haven't eaten yet because I'm not hungry. And I'm learning. I'm still learning, but I've learned to eat when I'm hungry and not 5 o'clock. So, yeah, just getting ready for my first meal. So I'm going to have my soup. And I'm also, this is a vegetable and Stilton soup. And I'm also got my avocado, some cheese, and some Rivita. So I'll just put this over here, so hopefully you can see me. So we're talking about positivity on the journey. How do you stay positive? What helps you to stay positive? Do let me know. Let me know your thoughts on that, because you know it's a long journey. It's a long journey. You know, I'm 57 next week. Woohoo! It's my birthday. Yeah, I'm 57 next week, and I'm hoping I've got another 50 years in me. That's the plan. I'm hoping I've got another 50 years in me. And in that time, that's a long time. Oh, thank you, my lovely. Oh, thank you. Remembering that you are healthy. I love that. I love that. And and for the rest of my days, I want to be healthy. I want to be strong and I want to be healthy. I want to be physically healthy and I want to be mentally healthy as well as spiritually healthy. I want to be healthy in lots of different ways. So, thinking about my why, thinking about what I want to achieve and why really helps me to stay positive. Because on my journey, you'll know my story. I've had many of blips on my journey, many ups and downs, as we all do. We have lots and lots of ups and downs on the journey. And sometimes, like on my journey, I used to look at other people. Good afternoon, Horatio. Great to have you with us this afternoon. On my journey, I used to see other people having success, and they'd be losing 2-3 pounds a week. In fact, this morning on the WeightWatchers Connect page, I saw a lovely member who said that she's been on a journey for 13 weeks. I'm pretty sure she said 13 weeks she's been on a journey, and she's lost 3.5 stone. Just see if I can find it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because I remember thinking, wow, that's a lot of weight to lose. That averages at about 3.5 pounds every week. Oh, here it is. 3.5 stones difference. And she started 13 weeks ago. Yeah. And I remember looking at that and I'm thinking, you know what? Go girl. I'm really pleased for you. Really pleased for you. And I read that and I thought, do you know what? She didn't have to say. She doesn't have to say. Nobody needs to say. But it just made me wonder whether this person has lost all her weight following the Weight Watchers plan, which is absolutely possible, or whether they've had some kind of intervention. Maybe it was surgery, maybe she's using the GLP-1 medication, maybe she's doing something else. It just made me wonder. Just trying to find me spice. Yeah, it just made me wonder, how they were seeing so much success. And you know what? And I'm delighted for this person, absolutely delighted. But, and sometimes I look at that, and Sherry, remembering you're better and getting stronger every day. Yeah, I love that. Ask you why. And, sometimes on my journey, I would look at that and I would see other people's success and I'd be like, they've lost like 3 stones in 3 months. What's wrong with me? Why aren't I losing that? Or they've come down, 2 or 3 dress sizes in a short period of time. Or, they've lost the same weight as me, but they're down 3 dress sizes and I haven't come down a dress size. All of these things would be going around in my head and I'd be thinking about, am I doing the plan right? Why is it not working for me in the same way? All of these negative thoughts would come into my head because I started comparing myself. And I don't know if anybody else has been in that situation, you know, do let me know if you've been in that situation. But I know that I've been there. I've been there, just comparing myself to other people. And what I learned was that is, you said those things to yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. This member could be a big girl. Absolutely. And that's why I said, you know, I'm not casting any aspersions. I'm really, really pleased for them, you know. So yeah, and nowadays with Weight Watchers, there's just so many different ways that we can lose the weight, you know, and different methods to apply the plan. So, you know, absolutely casting no aspersions there, none whatsoever. But yeah, you know, I used to go through these stages where I used to think, well, why am I not losing? You know, what's wrong with me and my body, and am I doing something wrong? And all of these things used to pop up in my head, and I used to have all these thoughts, and those thoughts used to derail me. I'm being absolutely honest. They used to derail me. And you know, we know that, you know, we know the old saying, comparison is the thief of joy. We know that, and we know that we shouldn't really compare ourselves to other people. But let's be honest, I did, you know, and I found it really tough not to. Excuse me. I found it really tough not to compare myself. I'm just warming through the soup, and it's a little bit thick, so I'm just gonna add a drop of water in. I do find that though, guys, when like I'm defrosting like a tomato base or a soup or something, as I'm warming it through, it gets really thick. So I have to just add a little bit of water just to thin it through. So that's what I'm doing here. So yeah, I would get into that headspace where I found myself comparing myself to others, even though I knew that I shouldn't be comparing myself to anybody. And I would even often tell, you know, say the same to people, you know, don't compare yourself. But I did. It was really, really hard to. And that would get me down. Yeah, we're all different. It's important not to compare ourselves to anyone else. And we never know the price someone paid for success. Absolutely spot on, Sherry. Absolutely right. Yeah, we just don't know. And of course, you know, people don't have to say. They're under no obligation, you know, to say, but we celebrate their successes with them. But a little part of me would feel like, because I am competitive. I am a competitive person. A little part of me would be like, well, why am I not seeing that success? And I'm happy for people. I'm always happy for others. And, you know, but I'm like, well, you know, you're doing the same plan as me and you're seeing all of this success. Why am I not seeing it? I'm just having this camembert. Oh, I love it. Love camembert. So creamy and delicious. I'm just cutting a few thin slices to go with my avocado. So yeah, that's where I was at, and I had to learn exactly what you said. Oh, why is that you've never heard, Esther? What's that you've never heard? But I had to learn exactly what you're saying, Sherry, not to compare myself. I had to learn that. It didn't always come easy, especially when I was so desperate to get healthy and desperate to shed the weight and desperate to improve my health. You know, it was hard for me to not feel like that, even though I know I shouldn't, you know. So I had to go on that journey and learn that. And there were certain things that really helped me on that journey, which is, you know, what I wanted to share with you today, just in case you're in that situation where you're thinking about, you know, how do you stay positive? And I'd love to know, actually, I'd love to know, what do you do to stay positive on your journey when things are tough? When things are tough, and maybe when you're not getting the results that you want to see, and you're putting in all of that hard work, what do you do? I just realised I've put, do you know what? Normally I like to top this with cucumber, but I left the cucumber in the fridge and it's way back there. But I'm going to top it with a pear. I'm going to be really creative. I'm going to give my pear a wash. So there we go. So what I had to do. Oh, you think of the unwanted alternative. Oh, I like that. Yeah. Think of, you know, what could be. And welcome, Nita. Great to have you with me this afternoon. So what I started to do is I started to just really invest in me, because I've always been, you know, good at, you know, supporting and celebrating other people. But now I needed to really invest in me, but also to the same way that I would celebrate other people, I needed now to celebrate me. And what I said, and I learned this on my Weight Watchers journey, is that at the end of every week, I would high five myself and just sit down and pull out all the positives. Whether or not I achieved my goal or not, I would always find the positives in the week. And I would high five myself to do that. And when I started doing that, I started seeing that, and again, that was a journey for me. It wasn't like it wasn't easy to just say, right, okay, I'm going to start pulling out these positives. It was hard because I'm a creative, and having that structure, like the amount of times I've tried to journal, doesn't work for me. So for me to have to sit down and really think about those positives was a challenge. But I would start to do that. At the end of the day, I would start thinking about what's gone well for me, and then thinking about, well, what have I learned from that, and what's the positives in that? So I started to pull that out. And then something I learned years ago, and I'm talking like way back in the day, is Weight Watchers used to say, instead of celebrating with food, give yourself a treat, or maybe put for every pound that you lose, put a pound in the pound jar or something like that. And then at the end of every month, go and treat yourself to something nice, maybe like a new lipstick or get your nails done, that sort of thing. And I still do that. Yeah, the nails. I don't know if you noticed the new nails earlier this week. I get my nails done, I get my feet done, I get my hair done, I get my brows done, my waxing, all sorts I do. And when I started doing that, I started to realise, actually, Angela, you're good enough. You are good enough. And you don't have to compare yourself to other people. In fact, other people try to compare themselves to me, and that's their issue. That's their issue. But I realised that actually I could stop comparing myself to others, because I know that I'm good enough and my efforts are always good enough. But for me, it's been this journey. I've been with Weight Watchers on and off now for 38 years. 38 years. And it's taken the best part of that to acknowledge that and to accept that. So Horatio, you're saying, I think the rewards with regards to your health and getting into smaller clothes and being more confident. I like that. I like that. Yeah, that's so important. And Sherry, having those non-food rewards, yeah, all of those things would help to keep me positive. And, you know, because it's easy. It's, you know what, guys, it's so easy. It's so easy to say we shouldn't compare ourselves and we should look at the positives. But how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you do that and keep it real? And for me, I had to learn it. It didn't just come overnight. It wasn't just something I said, you know, because it rolls off the tongue really nicely. Let's be honest. Let's be honest to say, oh, you know, comparison is the thief of joy. Rolls off really nicely. Oh, yeah, you know, let's just reward ourselves with, you know, having the nails done, the hair done. Yeah, that's all very nice. But next level, really, really, truly, deeply, that was hard for me. It was hard for me. And I had to put the groundwork in to really, really appreciate me by doing those things. By, you know, I had to learn to listen to myself. And I had to overcome those feelings of, why am I not losing this weight? Why is somebody else losing and not me? I had to deal with that. I had to deal with that. So Esther, when you lost your 100 pounds, you bought a pearl for each pound. And when I was through, you strung the necklace. I love that. Absolutely love that. I love that. What a fabulous idea. Fabulous idea. And I love pearls. I used to make, well, I still make jewelry. So yeah, it's got lots of gemstones. So I love that. I love that idea. So yeah, I had to deal with those emotions, not on a surface level, but a deep level. The who I am, the who, you know, the core of who I am, to overcome those feelings, because it'd be like, yeah, that's it. You know, comparison is the thief of joy. I'm not comparing myself to anybody. And then I'd see somebody's success in the workshop, or I'd read something and I'd be like, why can't I lose this? What's going on with my body? What's going on with me? I need to try harder. You know, I would have those feelings and those emotions. So what I started to do was really throw myself into my growth. So, you know, I would go out, I'd spend time doing things that I love, absolutely love. So in the summer, I don't do it in the winter but in the summer, I've got a nature centre right here next to me, literally on my doorstep. It's literally a 5-minute walk from my house, a minute in the car. And in the summer, I would just go over there and I would just sit in nature and I'd listen to the birds, you know, and I'd just, there's like the swan pool and, you know, all the ducks and the birds and all of that. It's beautiful. And I would just sit there and I'd look at the flowers and I'd look at everything. This is going to sound really philosophical now, but I'd look at everything in that environment, in nature. And the one day I realised none of them's competing. The birds are sitting in the trees, and as I'm talking to you now, I'm looking out the kitchen window and I've got birds sat in the tree in front of me, and they're not competing. The bird is using the strength of the tree, the height of the tree for support. The tree is using the ground and the soil for nourishment. I've got some bushes underneath the tree. They're using it for shelter. And I realized that nature doesn't compete with each other, but they use it. It's almost like interlinked. They use each other for that support to enhance the environment, to make the environment beautiful. And when I started, I tell you, I do go deep sometimes. I am a deep person. You know, I know, like, I like to laugh and joke and everything, but I am a thinker. I am a thinker. And if you know me, you know I take nothing on surface level. I'm a thinker. Excuse me whilst I have a sip. Hot. It's hot. It's good. It's good. Very good. This is my veg and Stilton soup, and this is me Rivita with avocado, Stilton and pear. This is, I know it's 3 o'clock. This is my first meal of the day, so excuse me whilst I have a bite because I'm a bit hungry. So good. So I started to realize that, and that realization came to me when I was sat in nature over the garden centre, not garden centre, the nature centre. I'm sat there and I'm just at peace. And I realised that I had to be like that on my journey. I couldn't compete with anybody, but like the birds, like the trees, like the flowers, like the soil, like the pots, like the wind, like all the elements, we had to work together to get where we want. And the other thing that I noticed in nature was that everything has its space. Everything has its space. And I love gardening, and I tend my garden, and I love my garden. I do have this bloke, he comes in and he does help me, but I do love my garden, and I sit back and I'll just look, and even the most beautiful flowers, even the most beautiful rose on my rose tree, it's part of a community, but each rose stands out by itself. It's not overshadowed by any other rose. It's allowed to stand proud, even in a rose bush. And I started to realize that actually we can all do that we can stand proud, that I can stand proud, and I could shine without competing with anybody, but also I could stand within a community of other like-minded people and all have our individual space to support each other, but together we are achieving, and we're beautiful, and we're part of a collective, and therefore there is no need to compete. It's only humans that compete. Only, you know, I've been looking at my 2 cats. They fight, but they don't compete. Don't compete. Look at nature. They don't compete. It's only us humans. So I started to look at this, started to look at that. And out of that came a lot of growth for me. A lot of growth. And that's why that saying, comparison is a thief, it was robbing me of the joy, really is so meaningful for me. It's no longer a platitude. It's no longer just something that rolls off the tongue for me. I had to really go deep and understand where that was coming from, but how I could deal with that. And I'm so much better now. You know, I'm so much better now, you know. And that's not just with, you know, my weight loss journey, that's with everything, you know. That need to feel, why is this not happening to me, or why is this happening to me, or, you know, going on that negative downward spiral. I don't have that anymore, because I now understand that we all have our space, we all have our place, we can all stand together, and we could be like nature. No need to compete. So yeah, I know that's gone a bit deep, guys. It's gonna be deep, but yeah, you know, I had to do that work. I had to do that work to really get to that place. So I would go over, I would spend time in nature. That really helped me to think positively. And, you know, if you know me, I'm having the worst day of my life if you hear me talking negative. Yeah. If I'm having the worst day ever, I'm talking negatively, because for me, I'm a half full person every time, and something's desperately wrong if I'm a half empty person. And I think going and doing that work and really going deep has helped me absolutely to have that half full mentality every time, every single time. I can always find the positives in something, even in a difficult situation. I find and dwell on the positives. So going into nature has really helped me, but also just finding time for me, just resting, just sitting, doing nothing. Because I've always been a person on the go, always on the go, always busy, always doing something. And I think that's because of being single. I've always tried to fill my life with things so that I don't get lonely. But sometimes I would overwhelm myself. So it's recognizing that and just scaling that back so that I have time to just stand and recognize and appreciate the positives. Yeah. So that has really helped me, just taking time for me to rest, and also just being with positive people. I can't be with half empty people. Can't be with half empty people. And if I am, it'll only be for a short time. Yeah, 15 minutes. That's it. I'm out. I can't. I just shut down. It's almost like, you know, I've got a shield up, and it just bounces off me. And again, that's come from the work that I've done on myself to really just tune in to positivity and deflect negativity. But at the same time, that's not about being real, because, you know, I have to be real as well and recognize that not everything is a bundle of laughs in life, that there are some things that are difficult, there are some things that are challenging. So being real, but also saying, if something is a challenge, where's the positives? How can I turn this into a positive situation that's going to help me? Yeah. So, for example, to give you an example, a couple of years ago, I mean, my car, it's honestly, it's a proper banger. My car I've had for like 16 years. It still looks good. And it still runs. But a couple of years ago, the brain, I don't know what you call it, but the brain in the car went. And my friend took it to the garage, and they were like, well, it's a Ford Focus. And he took it to the garage, Ford, and Ford was like, no, it's dead. It needs just to be scrapped. And I was like, oh my days, because didn't have the money to buy a new one. And my friend was like, well, you know, I'll take it to another garage. And he took it to this other garage, and they were like, it's going to cost like $2,500 to do it. And I was like, well, I just don't have that kind of money. If I'm going to spend £2,500 to repair a 15-year-old car, I might as well invest and buy a new car. So I was thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then I just thought, you know what? I can live without a car. I can, you know, I've got 2 legs that work sometimes. I've got really excellent transport, public transport by me. I thought, so I can still get about. And if push come to shove, I could use Uber, or my son and his daughter-in-law, they can pick me up. I've got friends that can pick me up. But more than that, I can walk more. I can walk a lot more, and that's going to help me on my journey. So it's a situation where I could have been like feeling really down and thinking, oh my goodness, and thinking of all the negatives and getting myself stressed and worried. I was like, no, there's positives in here. But then, as it so happened, he took it to this other garage, this friend of his, and I got it done for like 600 quid. And the car's been running ever since, no problems. So yeah, you know, I always find the positives, but it's not easy. It's not always easy to find the positives and look at the positives. It takes time and working on myself. I know that a lot of people journal, and if journaling works for you, go for it. I know a lot of people find that putting their thoughts down and then reviewing them just helps them pull out the positives. Doing 3 good things, I know a lot of people do that, and they find the positives in every single day. And I absolutely love reading other people's positives, and that helps me then to start having that gratitude, you know, for things in my life. You know, even just the basic things, even things like, you know, that I've got some soup and, you know, some crackers for my lunch. Even things like that makes me grateful. You know, that I've got a home, that I've got 2 gorgeous cats and 2 gorgeous grandchildren. I should have said me gorgeous grandchildren first, you know. Yeah, just in case you're watching, kids, Nanny loves you, you know. So I've got 2 gorgeous grandchildren, you know, and my son, his girlfriend, all my friends and my family, and 2 gorgeous cats as well. Oh, not forgetting the fish as well. You can see the fish just here. This is me 1 fish tank. I've got to clean it out later. I've got to do a water change. I mean, I've got my other fish tank in the main living room. So I've got lots and lots to be grateful for. So reading other people's positives just puts me in that mindset to be positive. So yeah, doing those sort of things really helped me to find the positives on my journey, looking at all the small things. And then, you know, and we've mentioned it in the chat, is focusing on my health. Focusing on health helps me to really be positive. And coming from losing my health to now being a completely different person, and you know, I still have health challenges, as you saw the past couple of days with my arthritis was really bad. And by the way, it's feeling a lot better. It's not 100%, but it's feeling a lot better. But when I think generally of my health, that I've still got my health, that I'm still here, that I'm still mobile, that I can still get around, I could still have a social life, you know, all of those things make me feel really positive. And then knowing that I've got a community of people to support me on my weight loss and wellness and health journey, both at Weight Watchers, but outside of that, you know, I've got a team of medical experts, you know, that I can tap into, a team of consultants for my lupus and my arthritis, which is, they are so amazing. And I know that the NHS isn't what we'd like it to be, but they're bloody amazing, guys, bloody amazing. And I've got the highest level of respect for the NHS, because when I was literally, you know, approaching death's door, they were there for me. They were there. And I know that I could send an email or make a phone call to my lupus consultant secretary, and one, she'll give me advice, or two, she'll refer me, put a message through to my lupus consultant, and if necessary, I can get an appointment fairly quickly. So I know the NHS isn't, you know, there's a lot of people complain about it, but for me, they've been absolutely superb. And I'm really grateful for that. And as a team, they support me on my health, my overall health journey. So that also really keeps me positive, knowing that I've got that level of support. And of course, you know, the community at WeightWatchers, you amazing guys here support me too. All of these things really, really make a difference to helping me keep positive. But I'd love to know, what do you do to keep you positive on your journey? Are you a half full person or glass half empty person? What do you do to keep you positive on your journey? Because, you know, for me, this is a journey for life. I'm here for life, you know. And that's an interesting point. I'm just going to put this in my gob because I'm a bit hungry, so I'm going to eat this. Oh, this pear is so nice. Oh my days, it's so good. So again, being a thinker, somebody said to me, they're never going to leave WeightWatchers. And I thought about what they said afterwards, because I'd often had those thoughts. I thought, I'm never going to give up WeightWatchers. And I really thought about it. And I thought, what did they mean? And what do I mean? And when I thought about what I meant, what I really meant to say was that I'm never going to give up on my health, wellness, and weight loss journey. That's what I meant to say. Because, you know, you'll have heard me say this many, many times, that for me, and for me alone, WeightWatchers is a tool. Excuse me. I've got to eat. It's 3:10, and this is my first meal of the day. So for me, WeightWatchers is a tool. It's kind of like this mug. This mug, for me, and for me alone, and you may totally disagree with me, and that's absolutely fine. But for me, WeightWatchers is like this mug. And this mug is useful. In fact, it's essential if I want to have a hot drink. So I've got my soup in here. Perfect for that. Perfect tool. It might even be perfect to have a cold drink out of, although I more than likely use some glasses. But if I didn't have any glasses, I can drink a cold drink out of here. If I didn't have a bowl to eat my yogurt out of, I could put it in this mug. So the mug is the tool. WeightWatchers is the tool. I couldn't have a bath in this mug. I couldn't cook my dinner in the mug. I couldn't put my shoes, I couldn't put the mug on my feet and go for a run. Hi, Tony. Lovely to see you, my darling. I'm so sorry to hear you've been in hospital. Oh, I'm so sorry. We'll have to have a chat later. Yeah, message me later. So the mug is a tool for a specific purpose. So when I caught myself saying, I'm never going to leave Weight Watchers, I'm never going to give up on Weight Watchers, I had to rethink that. And when I thought about that, what I meant was, I'm not giving up on me, on Angela, and my health, my wellness, my weight loss, my journey. Not giving up on my life. Whilst recognizing that Weight Watchers is just the tool. It's not the tool for everything. It is only a tool for a specific purpose. Just like this mug has a specific purpose for me to drink hot drinks out of. But I can't use it for everything. And when I started to look at it like that, I started to think, yeah, I'm using that for a specific purpose, and it's not complete. It's not complete. And you may have heard, if you were with me yesterday, I was even saying that, you know, in my opinion, my personal opinion, Weight Watchers, well, let me rephrase that. It is a fact. It is a fact. The Weight Watchers is behavioral scientists. They're not nutritional scientists. They do have nutrition specialists within Weight Watchers, but as a company, they have built themselves, particularly in the last couple of years, around behavior science. And their coaches are trained as behavioral change coaches. They're not trained as nutrition coaches. They're not trained as mindset or psychologists or professionals in that respect. They're coached as behavior change coaches. So what that means is they are trained to help people change their behaviors around wellness, around weight loss. So it's a very specific purpose, and it's a very valuable purpose, very useful, and it's been fantastic. And I've learned an awful lot. And it served, like this mug, Weight Watchers have served that purpose for me. They've helped me put in place behaviors that has helped me change habits that were no longer helpful for me. And they've been amazing at that. But I'm at the stage in my journey where I realise that tool is brilliant, but I also need a plate. And I also need a knife. And I also need a spoon. I also need other tools. So Tony, you treat Weight Watchers as a lifestyle. It's nothing like a diet. A diet has to as a start and end date. And Weight Watchers lifestyle is how you want to live, even if you have a bumpy. And do you know what, Tony? I agree with you on the surface. I agree with you on the surface. Excuse me. I just dropped my pear. I agree with you on the surface that Weight Watchers promote itself as a lifestyle, but anybody can take the Weight Watchers plan and make it into a diet. Absolutely anybody. It's not foolproof as a lifestyle. That takes time. That takes commitment. and that takes consistency, and that takes willingness to make it into a lifestyle. But I see, you know, I'm on a lot of Facebook groups, and all the time I see people who are still in diet mode. They're still in diet mode. When it comes to restriction, they're worrying about their points, they're worrying about what they can and can't eat, they're worrying about the scales, they're worrying about this, that, and the other. That is still a diet, in my opinion. So yeah, Weight Watchers is a lifestyle, and it's promoted as a lifestyle, but it's so easy to keep it as a diet, and that's about individuals. That's an individual choice. And for me, I ditched when I realized that, and I didn't realize it at the start of my journey, it took me some time to realize that, and then I had to learn how to make it a lifestyle. So for me, it is now absolutely a lifestyle, and I have made that step. For me, I'm not endorsing this for anybody, but for me, as you see, I just slice my cheese. I don't weigh it. I don't point it. My avocado ain't weighing and pointing that. Not tracking, because that is the lifestyle I want to live. And you've got to decide what lifestyle you want, and you then have to make that a lifestyle. Choose what you want and make it a lifestyle. And when you do, there's no worrying, there's no fretting, there's no, oh, I've only lost half a pound this week. What am I doing wrong? That's a diet. That's a diet. When it's like, oh, I can't have this, that's a diet. You know, a lifestyle is, you know, if you think about your lifestyle, and you might say, okay, I'm going on holiday, I'm going for a walk, you know, I'm going to play with the grandkids, I'm going to go shopping. That's relaxed. There's no stress. There's no pressure. That's relaxed. But the minute we start worrying about the scales, about tracking, about what we're eating, how much it weighs, count, in my opinion, and you might think completely different, in my opinion, that's a diet. And Jackie says, and as you say, that took time to get to. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to, absolutely. You know, I didn't make Weight Watchers a lifestyle for me on day one. Absolutely not. No matter how many times Weight Watchers say, this isn't a diet, it's a lifestyle. It didn't happen on day one. It took me years. It took me a long time to decide what lifestyle I wanted, and then to move to that. And for me, I can't ever see myself tracking for the next 50 years. That ain't happening. Forget that. Don't care what app is out there. That ain't happening. That's a lifestyle I've chosen. I ain't going to be weighing. I do weigh and measure some things, especially from cooking or following a recipe. But like my everyday foods, I ain't weighing and measuring that. That's the lifestyle I've chosen. That's how I want to live. I don't want to be weighing and thinking, oh, you know, it's 25 grams, how many points? That's not me. That's not the lifestyle I want to live. But if some people do, some people want to, you know, weigh and measure everything. And if that's the lifestyle you want, go for it. Oh, you know, there's loads of support for that. So, yeah, that's what I said. You know, it doesn't matter how many times. It's like saying, you know, it doesn't matter how many times the sun is out, you can still feel cold. It's bad up here. You know, you could be sat in a freezing cold room at 0 degrees, but still feel warm. It's up here. It's up here. So, yeah. So, as I say, it's a rhetoric. And And the marketing tool, when Weight Watchers say it's a lifestyle, not a diet, but only you, only me can make it a lifestyle. And we make it a lifestyle by the choices that we make, but it takes time. It takes time. Right, so Nita, you have to learn the right proportions, right portions. Same here. Same here. It took me probably 3.5 years to find the right portion for me. Yeah. Absolutely, Jackie. It comes with confidence. Yeah. Time and confidence. And you know what? I had this conversation with somebody the other day. And this person's at goal. Excuse me. This person's at goal, and they said to me, because they were interested in why I don't track, and this was a genuine question. They said, why don't you track, and how come you're still losing weight whilst not tracking? And I went through and I explained to her all my reasons, and I said to her, hi Cass, hello my lovely, thanks for joining us today. And I explained to them, one, it didn't happen overnight. Took time. Took a long time for me to get to that point. It was tough. It was a struggle because, as you know, I'm not a creative, structured person. I really, truly struggled with tracking. But I said, when I got to a point where I understood foods, I understood what foods was working for me, I learned the portion sizes that took me years. When I learned all of that, excuse me, when I did all of that and I was seeing consistent weight loss, and now because the journey was a lifestyle and I stopped, and for me personally, I'm not endorsing. And let me just say, everything that I say here, guys, this is me and my personal perspective. You'll know in my day job, I don't have the opportunity to share my personal perspective. And my personal perspective, as you may realize, is there's a difference. There's a slight difference between my day job and the perspective I have to share and my own personal view. And that's okay. That's okay, because I'm sure there's lots of people in exactly the same situation. Okay. But everything I say is my personal view, and I don't expect you to agree with me, and I certainly don't expect you to take it on board. If you find it helpful, yeah, you might find some things helpful. You might think, oh, Angela's talking a load of rubbish, and that's fine too. You know, you don't have to agree. So Tony, you stopped tracking a few months ago. You will weigh and measure, but you won't track, and that's a personal choice. Yeah. Anita, the thought of tracking forever would drive you around the bend. Yeah, same here. That's just not something I want to do. And other people enjoy it. They like it. It's working for them. Great job. Go for it. So this person said to me, they asked me why I'm not tracking and how I can still lose weight whilst I'm not tracking. And I said, one, a couple of things. One, it was because I'd done the work, right? And I spent a lot of time exploring and understanding the foods that were going to work for me and my body and portion size, the importance of drinking my water and the sleep and all of that. I'd done all the work. And when I was tracking with purpose. I was tracking with purpose. I wasn't tracking just for the sake of tracking. Wasn't doing that. I was tracking with purpose to understand me and my body and what is going to get me weight loss, but also what will help, what will put weight on me, what will make me gain weight. what quantities, what portions, what type of foods will give me weight gain. What foods, like I know wine, can't touch wine, can't touch wine. You think I was bad yesterday? You don't see nothing when I have wine. Ain't happening. Can't touch it. It just affects me really, really badly. I can drink spirits, but wine, forget that. And as I'm getting older, I'm finding that spicy food is giving me indigestion. So I know that I can still enjoy a little bit of spicy food, but not as heavily spiced as I used to do. I also find now that that's why you don't often see me having bread. I have things like Rivita, because I'm finding that bread is too heavy for me. And I find it just really difficult to digest. But also, I also know a lot of, and I mentioned this the other day, all the CRAP, all the crap, the carbonated foods, the additives, the refined sugars, the processed food, all of that is not good for me. I also know that for me, if I eat late in the evening, can't sleep. Can't sleep. I'll have that hot flush, that menopausal hot flush if I drink alcohol in the evening. But also when I can't sleep on a full stomach. So tracking, I was not tracking for tracking's sake, which in my opinion is the impression that I get from Weight Watchers, is that just keep tracking, keep tracking, keep tracking. Okay. And that's the impression I get. And I may be right, I might be wrong, but I get the impression that Weight Watchers wants its people just to get into the habit of tracking. And I hear people say tracking's become a habit. And I'm like, really? 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 That is money in the pocket of Weight Watchers and slimming companies, weight loss companies, when you believe that tracking is a habit. What, for me, what should be the habit is not tracking, but making healthy choices. And you should get to a point where you can make healthy choices without leaning on an app. So this person had asked me that, and that's essentially what I said to her. I says, yeah, but you need the app to track. And that's why there's this mentality of I'm on it, I'm off it. I'm on the train, I'm off the train. I'm doing Weight Watchers, I'm not doing Weight Watchers. And people feel that they can't be successful unless they're signed up and using the app. Which brings me back to the app and Weight Watchers being a tool. And it is a useful tool, a very useful tool for so many different things. So I'm not knocking it, I'm not discounting it. I'm just trying to, in my opinion, trying to get across to you that Weight Watchers is a tool. It's a useful tool, just like this mug is a useful tool for holding my soup and my hot drinks, but I still need a plate. I still need a knife. I still need a kettle. All of those are tools. I still need a microwave. All of those tools. And Weight Watchers for me is just one tool. One tool with lots of features in that absolutely help me on the journey, but it's not the only tool. So let me get back to my points. So the point was, the question was, this person asked me, how am I not tracking and losing weight? And just to summarize what I've said, it was because I've learned those healthy habits. I've learned those healthy habits that's going to support me to lose weight, not just today, not just tomorrow, but in the next 2 or 3 years, and to maintain that weight loss. Okay? To maintain that weight loss. So I've used the tool to help me, but more importantly, I built my confidence. I built my confidence. And I said to this person, well, this person said to me, she said, you know what, Angela, you're absolutely right. I need to be more confident in what I'm doing. She said, I have the same breakfast every single morning since I've started my journey, which was about, I think she said 7 years. Every morning, more or less, she has the same breakfast. She says she has a few different things that she has for lunch. So it'll be a choice of maybe 5 different things she'll have for lunch. So it'll be one thing today, one thing tomorrow, then one thing the next day. She'll swap it up. She says those never change. She says, I don't snack. And the only other thing that changes that's a variable is my dinner. But she said, it's always a Weight Watchers recipe. It's always healthy. And I said to her, so why are you tracking then? And she thought about it and she thought, you know what? You were so right. She says, every morning I know my breakfast is 5 points. My lunch is going to be about 3 points. And then I've got the rest of the points for the day for that dinner. I says, you know that. And it hasn't changed for 7 years. Why are you still tracking? And she said 2 things. One, because it's a habit, which goes back to Weight Watchers is making us use the app to form a habit so we become dependent on the app. And if that's what you want to do, I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying, because that's mullah. That's mullah. If you stop tracking and you leave, if you stop tracking, you're going to cancel. So that it's a dependency. And I'm not just saying about Weight Watchers, any app, MyFitnessPal, Healthy, Slimming, what, it's all money. They want you to open the app and use the app every day because it keeps you engaged. It keeps the money rolling in. Okay. Probably get sacked for this now. I'll probably get sacked for it. But I'm just being honest, guys. I'm being honest, I'm being honest. And as I said, I'm not discouraging you from using it. If you find that the app and tracking is helping you, go for it. Go for it. I don't track, but I do use loads of other features in the app. Do use it. So I said to her, so she realised, you know what? I've created a dependency. I've created dependency on the app. I said, you have. You have. And I use this example, and I've used it here before. It's kind of like a baby. Baby in arms, then they start shuffling, they start crawling, they start walking. And then, when you're going out, you put them in a push chair. And then eventually they don't want to be in the push chair. They want to walk. If you have a 12-year-old child who still wants to sit in the pushchair, what does that tell you? What does that tell you if you have a 12-year-old child who's healthy, they haven't got a disability, but still wants to be in a pushchair? That tells you they're dependent. It tells you that they're dependent on the pushchair. They lack confidence to walk. And something else is going on as to why they don't want to get up and walk. And when I said this to this person, she was like, you know what, Angela? It's confidence. I've created this dependency and I lack confidence. That's what it is. So I said to her, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? She said, she's going to not track for a week. See what happens. I said, you do that? I said, do that and see how you feel. There comes a point where we have to spread our wings and fly. In my opinion, we have to spread our wings and fly. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe that we can make good choices. We have to believe that what we're doing is right. It's like learning to drive a car. You know, at first we need a lot of coaching, a lot of guidance. We need those driving lessons. But then one day we graduate. And one day we're able to get behind the wheel of a car and drive without an instructor. And it's scary at first, but then we realize actually we can do a journey and get back safely. And then before you know it, you're whizzing all around town, no instructor. And then one day you're so tired, you get in the car, and next thing you know, you're at home and you're like, how did I get here? I don't even remember driving to get here. That's called progress. That is called progress. But if we're always, for the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, always need an instructor beside us, something's wrong. Something's wrong. That instructor isn't supporting you, isn't teaching you correctly, because they're enabling you to become dependent on them. There's just my thoughts. What do you think? What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What do you think? So at some point, and I'm not saying straight away, it might take you a year, it might take you 5 years, it might take you 10 years, but at some point, we need to build our confidence. And that's why, in my opinion, we see so many people, thank you, I'm glad you agree with me, Nita. That's why we see so many people leave, and I'm going to generalize this, give up on weight loss plans. Thank you, Horatio. We see so many people give up on weight loss plans because they feel that they can only be successful if they're doing the plan, if they're on plan, if they're on track. And the minute they stop, whether it be for finances, they can't afford it, maybe they're going on holiday, maybe they're ill, what happens? The weight goes back on. And it goes back on because they're not confident to move forward without the app. And in my opinion, it's a crutch. Without the crutch, without the wheelchair, without the driving instructor, they're not confident to do it. And that, well, I used to look at that, and that was a massive red flag for me. I used to see other people do it. I used to do it myself back in the early days. It was a massive red flag. I'm like, why do I need to be dependent on a bit of technology or writing it down to make a healthy choice? I get up every morning and I do a few things. Pick up my phone, check the time, look at the weather, look at my messages, get out of bed, go to the bathroom, run my bath, get in there, brush my teeth, get dressed. I don't need anybody to tell me to do that. I did when I was a baby. I did when I was 1. I did when I was 3. And some of it I did even when I was 5. I needed to go to school and didn't want to brush my teeth and all of that. But I got to the age of 10. 11, 15, 20. Didn't need anybody to tell me to do that. So it's just replacing that dependency with new habits and building confidence. So yeah, so this person is gonna, and I said to her, just try it. You know, the first time a child stands up, they're wobbling all over the place. You might not feel your confidence, but don't just sit back down. Continue. Do it another week and see how you feel. And then another week, just keep spreading your wings, and then you'll learn to fly. Which brings me back to my own analogy of the cup. It's a tool. I can't bake a cake in it. I can't roast vegetables in it. Can't put me shopping in it. It's a tool. It's a tool. Use it as it was intended. So when this person said, and when I thought, I'm never going to leave Weight Watchers, what I meant was, I'm never going to give up on my journey. I'm never going to give up on me, but I'm going to use Weight Watchers as a tool, as one tool to help me. But I'm also going to use other tools for other purposes, because the cup isn't everything. It can't provide me everything. I need a cup, I need a microwave, I need a kettle, I need a knife, you know, I need a phone. I need all of these different tools to help me get to where I want to go. And that's fine, Jackie. And I'm not suggesting that anybody goes alone. I'm not suggesting that at all. You know, I'm just saying from my perspective and what my experience. But what I don't want anybody to do, and of course you don't have to take my advice because I'm not here to give anybody advice, is develop your confidence. Yeah, develop your confidence, develop your knowledge, develop your skills so that you can use any weight loss program as a tool and not become dependent on it. Yeah, I love that. You take what you need. Hearing the repeat of the technique the last 3 years is strengthening your mindset and adapting as you go. And that's the key. Is, you know, and I say it all the time, in life, wherever we go, I listen to the news. I take what I need. I don't believe everything. Yeah. I listen to my friends. I take what I need. I don't take everything on board. You know, I go to read a magazine or a book. I take on board what I need at the time. I might come back to it at another time and take something else on board. You know, I listen to YouTube a lot. Some of it I think a load of rubbish, but other times I think, actually, that's really useful. I'll take it on board. It's not everything that we hear is right for us or right at that time. We have to be wise, and we have to know what we need at that time. And as I've said on many occasions, you know, you may listen to me and think, oh, she's talking loads of rubbish today. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. It's right for me, but it doesn't mean it's going to be right for you now or in the future. Doesn't mean that. Take what you need. Yeah, Jackie. Yeah. So use it as the tool, and you do look elsewhere to strengthen what you're hearing. Yeah, and develop what you're learning about you. I love that. And you know, it was you, Jackie, that made me start listening to the ultra processed people. It was you. You know, and you'd mentioned it, and I thought, oh, that sounds really interesting. And now I just follow them. And somebody else mentioned about the Zoe podcast. And now I'm like the biggest advocate for the Zoe podcasts, you know, and like I say, I'm doing the nutrition because I realized that actually I'm not getting that what I need around nutrition from Weight Watchers. So, you know, definitely go get tools from other places But it is, Weight Watchers is a good tool. It's a good tool. I'm not knocking that. Oh, interesting, Nita. Interesting. So alongside Weight Watchers, you've consulted a nutritionist. Interesting. And somebody else said the other day that they're working in conjunction with a dietitian alongside Weight Watchers. Absolutely. You know, Weight Watchers is a tool. It's not a complete tool for some people. It is for some people, but for others, for me, it definitely isn't complete. Definitely. But I didn't realize that until probably from August last year, August 2022, when I had my epiphany. I realized it's not complete. And I had to go searching for that completeness. I had to go to other sources for information to make it complete for me. Yeah, and only you can make choices that's going to support you, Jackie. Excuse me, I'm still trying to eat my lunch. This is really good, I have to say. It's really good. This is a Rivita with half an avocado, smashed avocado, with camembert cheese, with a few slices of pear on the top. It is proper. And this is my veg and Stilton soup. It is so good. Oh, Jackie, yeah. So you made the choices that support you starting in August, and the best thing you did was take out the light foods. Yeah, I remember you saying that, and that actually made me look deeper into it, which is what I love, because we learn from each other, we support each other. In, like my analogy with the garden, with nature, no man is an island. We come together, we support each other, we learn from each other. Yeah, and we take what we need from each other. So I don't want anybody going away from any of my YouTube sessions thinking they've got to do something different. I don't ever want you to do that. You know, I want you to just maybe have a little listen. And if it resonates with you, brilliant. But if it doesn't, just like shut me down. Just shut me down. Just don't listen, you know, because I hear loads of things, even within Weight Watchers, that I'm like, whatever. The ear is closed. I'm not taking that on board. Fine for you, but it's not for me. And that's absolutely fine. Oh, Jackie, so you started your own sourdough. I love that. I love that. And now you're thinking about your bread, and your friend got you to look at something you was eating and you wish you hadn't started to enjoy it. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I mean, bread is one of my things. I don't eat a lot. If I'm going to eat bread, it'll be like seeded bread, or definitely wholemeal but seeded, or I might occasionally have the Tesco sourdough. But other than that, I don't eat bread. Don't eat it. I go for like the Rivita as an alternative. So guys, there you go. So this stream was all about being positive. It was about positivity, and how when we're on the weight loss journey, for me, I used to look at other people and was a bit jealous. Let's be honest, a bit jealous. I was like, why are they losing all this weight? And I'm not. Why have they come down 3 dress sizes and they've lost the same amount of weight and I haven't? And so we were talking about how we can keep positive, on the journey. Because for me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's a lifelong journey. I'm here on my journey, using my tools, my different tools for life. And sometimes I might put the tool down. I might think, you know what? I'm putting down the Weight Watchers tool just for a bit, and I'm going to pick up a different tool, like my nutritional support, like reading my books and podcasts around, you know, food, around ultra processed foods, about nutrition science. that might be where I'm going to. Or I might put that down and say, do you know what? I need to pick up this around, you know, doing some type of exercises, etc. Yeah. But then other times I might think, no, actually, I need my Weight Watchers tool. Yeah. We have all these resources. We choose what we need when we need them. And when we do that, and we have a pool of resources, that can really help us to be positive. Because just using the same tool all the time may not give us what we need. The cup isn't going to give me everything I need. And if I'm just sticking to this, I can lose my positivity because I can't eat my dinner off it. I need a plate. And sometimes I need the 2 things. Sometimes I need 3 things. I need multiple things. So, yeah, you know, it's about finding how we can find... Okay, Jackie, no problem, my darling. I'm wrapping it up now. Yeah. But yeah, it's about how we can find positivity on the journey without using those rhetorics of comparison is a thief of joy, which it is, but it's about digging deeper. And I had to dig so deep to really make that a reality. Guys, I've been on here for an hour and 36 minutes. Oh, my days. Oh, I hadn't intended. No wonder my soup's gone cold. My soup's gone cold and my Ryvita's going a bit soggy. I didn't expect to be on here so long, but I hope you found that of interest. Thank you so much for being here, Jackie and Horatio. Oh, you need to keep it simple indeed. And I think that's why W works for you right now. I love that. Go for it. Go for it, Jackie. Absolutely go for it. Find what works for you and stick with it. Stick with it. I love that. And I'm so glad you found it useful today. Yeah, you know, as I say, in my day job, we have to go by certain rules, and you know, and that's why I like my platform here. This is why I started creating videos, so I could share my journey, not the Weight Watchers journey, but my journey, and share with you, you know, what was working for me, what wasn't working for me, what my thoughts were, what my feelings were, things that I can't express in the day job, you know. So yeah, but I accept it's not my views and my thoughts are not for everybody, and I don't expect it to be. But yeah, I appreciate you being here and just listening to me. So guys, and what are you doing this afternoon? What are you doing over the weekend? Oh, Jackie, a deeper look at what we want out of our personal journey. Yeah. Oh, and I'm so pleased that's why you enjoy these sessions. Yeah, I'm so pleased. Yeah, what are you doing this evening? Well, do you know, this morning, I was at work this morning, and then this afternoon, I cleaned the house, I cleaned my vacuum, because I've got one of those upright ones, and the filters were filthy filters. And I stripped them, I cleaned them, and just stripped down the whole vacuum and gave it all a good clean. It's working like brand new. Can't believe it. It's working like brand new. So I cleaned the whole of the downstairs, fed the cats, cleaned the kitchen, and I thought, right, now that the house is lovely and clean, I thought I'd do a live, and then tomorrow I'm going out with my girlfriends for lunch. It's a fancy restaurant in Birmingham, and I'm working either side of that, and then I'm just going to chill out on Saturday. So yeah, so it's going to be a nice, chilled, relaxed weekend. Oh, gotta go with the flow, Kaz. Yeah, I love that. Oh, Jackie, love that I speak my truth. You know what? That's me. I'm bold. And that was one of my words for the year, is I'm bold. Just hope I don't get sacked for it. but I'm bold. Anyway, guys, whatever you are doing, have the most wonderful, wonderful Friday afternoon stroke evening and a wonderful Saturday. I'm going to be back tomorrow because I've got all of these chicken legs, these chicken drumsticks that I'm defrosting, and I'm going to clean them and I'm going to cook them tomorrow. And then tomorrow morning, I'm going to be back early tomorrow morning because I managed to get some fresh ginger and some fresh turmeric, and I'm going to juice them. I'm going to make a juice and then a green smoothie with some of the stuff that I've got tomorrow. So I'm going to do a live tomorrow early to make this, and then I'll be back a bit later to do the chicken and we can have a chat. You cleaned yesterday, literally listening to me on YouTube. Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, guys, that is it. I'm going to warm up my soup. It's gone cold. I'm going to sit and eat me Ryvita, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your support. Thank you, guys. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.